we're just a touch away. Monday to Friday at 12:30 p.m. only on Bloomberg Quint.
Okay, welcome back to Bloomberg Quint. The Munjals and the Burman families have put together a bid for Fortis Healthcare, and this comes at a time when the Manipal Health and IHH Health are also keen on acquiring the company. The combine is already a shareholder in Fortis, and the stated proposition is to bail out the company from the current debt problems. Sunil Kant Munjal, who's the chairman of Hero Enterprises, now joins us on the show. Thank you, Mr. Munjal, for joining us. Good afternoon to you. First of all, the basic rationale, why are you doing this?
Good afternoon. So there are two reasons. One, as you yourself said, we are shareholders. We want to make sure that the enterprise does well. It's right now quite cash strapped. And we want to ensure that it gets immediate liquidity to be able to meet all its cash needs and then to focus on what's important, which is the healthcare part of it. So to ensure it pays off all, suppliers on time, employee compensation is done on time, the banks are being paid and updated. And the second is one of the big needs in India is high quality healthcare, both capacity to increase and quality to improve. So this is the second largest healthcare system in the country, and it is a high quality system. So we want to ensure that we can help support the recovery from whatever is the difficulty in the current situation, but also on an ongoing basis that it builds out and uses its actual capacity and capabilities to serve the needs of society and community, and thereby also serves its shareholders well at the same time.
Mr. Munjal, my basic question is, all these things were known, but why bid now? Because Fortis has been under problems for so much time. Why are you bidding it now? This could have been done earlier also, because even you've put it in your press release that you've tried it a couple of times, but the due diligence couldn't go on. But that couldn't have stopped you from bidding that time.
There were two different issues going on at that time. One was the lack of opportunity to do diligence. Second was this overhang of legal cases which were going on the owners of the enterprise, the majority owners of the enterprise. That caused a lot of complication on how a transaction could actually be done. Right now, since their shareholding is fallen below 1%, it's like any public company now. So at this moment it is, and what we are offering is a very clean transaction. We are putting money into the company. We are not asking for any restructuring, anything to be taken out of the company, anything to be put into the company. We are saying just allow the company and the team to focus on what matters. Let the doctors function, let the nurses do their work, let the patients come in every day. So our support is to help the management team build this out in the manner we think it can be done.
So I want to break
and that opportunity, by the way, has only come now.
Okay. My next question is two parts. So first of all, the first part is you'll immediately infuse 500 crores if the bid is accepted. And the second part, you're saying you need 3 weeks
Correct.
of due diligence in which the balance 750 crores will come in. What gives you the confidence that in 3 weeks this due diligence will be done? And if it is not as per your expectation, will this 500 crore only be put in and the 750 crore gets nullified? You will not put that in?
So our offer, as you correctly said, is for 1,250 crores, of which the 500 is going in straight away because we think the entity needs that liquidity right now. To some extent, it's also suffering for want of cash and liquidity. This is what the company had stated in its last earnings call. They had given some detail of how little cash is sitting on the books at this moment. And so we felt that it is necessary, if this thing is to do anything in the future, that its current must be protected and allowed to function. And we do think that because of all the investigation, etc., which are going on, a lot of the diligence will automatically get done, and these will be public documents. So we will know as much as anyone else will know where the big holes are, where the big problems are. But we need to do a diligence still for the balance amount, and we don't think there's a lot for us to do, which is why we've said in 3 weeks we will try and complete all of this to get on and allow this company to focus on its future, focus on what really matters to the company, which is the healthcare, which is the doctors, which is the patients. So which is why we made the offer very, very simple with minimal conditionalities, ifs and buts, so the company doesn't have to do much. And also the implementation of this can be very quick relative to anything else that the company is currently looking at, which could take many, many months.
Okay. No, I understand the fact, and I totally agree that it's a rather simple offer rather than the complex offers that Manipal Health had put up. But 1,250 crores will not move the needle for Fortis Healthcare. Probably short-term problems will be solved. Some bit of debt may be repaid, but this is not a long-term solution. Because of this, what I am seeing is that you're looking to increase your stake and become the largest shareholder in the company. That's what it will offer, but it will not get Fortis out of the hole.
So our understanding is the need for liquidity in the company is less than this. We think we are putting more than the company needs, and once it gets back on track, this is a good operation. You've seen what the other healthcare institutions are giving as a return, as a bottom line. So by just improving efficiency, getting it back on track, it will start throwing up much more liquidity and cash itself. So this company has the strength to stand on its feet and take care of all its needs. And as and when there is anything required, that's the time to address it. At this moment, we're trying to address the immediate and the medium-term needs of the company. And I think this is more than what the company needs right now.
Okay. So let me get this right. You're saying that if you infuse 1,250 crores, the short-term problems will be solved. And because of this short-term problem getting solved, the company's long-term, in the long term, will be able to stand on its own.
This is more than the company needs in this.
So how much does it need anyway, according to you?
Yep. It's a very strong asset. It is a very good asset. It's a very strong asset. So obviously we do not have the exact numbers because we have not done diligence, but this is what is based on public information. Our belief is that currently what the company needs is between 300 to 500 crores only. So we have said we will put 500 crores right away. So all of its current needs, which are coming from shortage of liquidity, are met right away.
Okay.
The additional money we're putting in is for additional medium-term operation and growth of the company.
Okay. What you said that your current shareholding is close to 3%, the entity that is bidding. Post, if this gets accepted,
correct,
what shareholding are you looking at? Where will your shareholding reach?
So I don't know what the exact would be. That would depend on the price at which the shares finally get offered to us. But I guess that would be another 15% or so.
You'll reach
14,
close to
15,
18%?
16, somewhere in that 17, somewhere in that range, depending on the pricing.
So in short, you will become
Sorry?
the largest shareholder in Fortis Healthcare, right?
It looks like, at this moment, it looks like it. Yeah.
Okay, what happens next? Now, as a shareholder, what happens to the Manipal deal? Will you let that go, or you will oppose that?
So I'm not sure the company needs to restructure itself. That was something which had to be done out of sheer compulsion because of the state that the company is in, and the requirement for funds was coming only with those conditionalities. So if it's able to get the liquidity, if it's able to get back on its feet, if it's able to move forward and do what it needs to do, I'm not sure there is any need for the company to do excessive work. If restructuring is required sometime in the company's life in the future, maybe the company could look at it. But at this moment, I think company needs to put its head down and focus very sharply in bringing itself back on track and getting on and utilizing its potential and creating higher efficiency, managing its costs better. Because right now, the returns in this entity are lower than all the other sizable healthcare operations.
So there
is work to be done as is.
Yeah, so let me get this straight. So this is an either or offer. So Fortis has either to accept your offer or it has to accept Manipal's offer. It can't be I will accept this offer and then post this I also accept Manipal's offer.
I cannot speak on behalf of the shareholders or the board. What you are asking me to respond to is the decision that will be taken by the board and the shareholders, because they are the ones who have got to decide, not us.
No. So that's what I'm asking you, sir. So if let's say the board of Fortis and the shareholders decide, okay, we need the money right now. Let us take in the money, get in the 500 crore. Let's get in the additional 750 crores, and also let's also consider Manipal's offer, because that's a good offer in which there is a long-term solution. In which, so if they accept both, then what happens?
Yep. What happens, meaning that's a speculative question.
So you must have thought about it,
you're asking me to speak on behalf of others as well. I'm telling you what we believe as minority shareholders.
So you are also a shareholder.
We are going to be minority shareholders. We may have more than others. Exactly.
So will you oppose the money
running the operation? So there are two completely different parts to what you're saying. Let me respond to what you're saying.
Sure.
Okay? There are two different parts to what you're asking. One is how the operation and the management view this, and second is how the shareholders view this. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Right. So from the operations point of view, I would imagine they would like to see how they can get on with their life, because they have I presume a defined plan, program, both medium term and long term, like any good operation or company would have. From the shareholders point of view, they would like to see what becomes most value accretive and what is good for the enterprise in the long term, and therefore adds a maximum amount of value. So what answer that is, I believe what we have offered is a very good solution, but whether it combined with another solution becomes even better is something only time will tell.
Okay. You've decided to put in 1250 crores and this is your assessment that in 1250 crores the company will be able to stand on its feet. Let's say after a year or so the company still has issues because there are pending liabilities, sir. You can't deny that what the erstwhile promoters did. There are pending liabilities. There is what Daiichi is also thinking about it. So in case it isn't able to, is there a backup offer that you have, or is this your final offer, or are you committing to put in more money in the future also?
So first, just to clarify, Daiichi has nothing to do with this company. The Daiichi's issue was with the earlier promoters, and since their shareholding now is below 1% in this company, I guess the overhang of the Daiichi legal issues in this entity are frankly down to nothing. We have taken some legal advice, and there is no Daiichi overhang on this issue. So I don't think that is any consideration. And what will the company do in the future? Where will the money come from? I think you're asking speculative question in the long-term future, because when anything is running as an efficient operation, it has the ability then to raise more monies. Whether we put it or somebody else put it is a moot point at this point. At this point, I would like us to just focus on what's going on right now and what we believe is the right thing for the company and by the company.
Okay. So I just have a few follow-up questions here. Firstly, not as an investor right now who's put in this bid, as a shareholder, what's your view on the Manipal deal, what they have offered to Fortis Healthcare?
So you're asking me to speculate in this sense also on a competitive bid, because we have put in a bid now. So it would be unfair for me to make a comment. All I can say is Manipal is a great outfit, and they run very good hospitals in the south. But what they have offered to this company is a very cumbersome process which requires many months, and I don't know how long it will take to get all the approvals, whether this will happen in 9 months or 12 or 18 months. And also it requires the company to completely restructure itself.
Okay.
At this moment, I think the company does not need that kind of diversion. It needs to get its head down, focus on, as I said, what really matters for this enterprise, to focus on the care, focus on health, focus on patients, on doctors, on employees. It just needs to create more a better morale, a better environment for itself. So I think that needs to be its first priority right now.
My final two questions, I'll be very quick about it. You own 3% stake in the company. Is there much more stake that you have, probably via associate companies or subsidiary companies, or 3% is the total amount of stakeholding that you have?
That is the total.
Okay, that is the total. And my final question is, if your deal doesn't go through and the Manipal deal goes through, are you...
It's not 3, it's around 3. Okay. I think it's... Yeah.
So if in case your deal doesn't go through...
Go ahead.
Yeah, sir. If your deal doesn't go through and the Manipal deal goes through, what do you plan to do further? Do you plan to hold on as an investor, or will you exit Fortis Healthcare?
So that's a speculative question. I would not like to answer a question like this.
Sure, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to Bloomberg Quint. Okay. And all the best for your bid going ahead.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was Mr. Munjal, of the chairman of Hero Enterprises. He's actually going ahead and bidding for Fortis Healthcare. So it's getting very interesting to see how the story of Fortis Healthcare goes ahead. We'll take a break at this point of time, but on the other side of the break, we'll get you more news on Bloomberg Quint.
Sir, please believe me, I am in this business for the last 12 years. Okay, I'll wait for your call. Thank you so much.
They still don't know you after all these years?
क्या